Welcome back, everybody. Good morning to those just joining us. It's Breaking the Habit 2023. Very excited to be here once again. We're joined by LRock, who will be speedrunning Simpsons arcade game Any Percent Normal. It looks like Bart has won the poll, assuming this is up to date. Get those donos in. A lot of fabulous prizes to be had this weekend. A PS5 if you get 100 or more over the course of the weekend in. LRock, take it away.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone at Breaking the Habit. Thank you so much for having me today. Hope you're all having an awesome start to your Saturday. And thank you so much to everybody who's donated towards this great cause so far. Past the introduction, I am LRock617, primarily an arcade speedrunner, and today I'll be playing Simpsons Arcade for you all. I had character donation incentive in place for this game, and it looks like, as mentioned, Bart did win the poll, so we'll go ahead and pop our credit in. Timer's going to start on character selection, so that'll be at 3, 2, 1, go. Now, we'll warn there's going to be, due to some technical crossover, there is going to be a mild delay. But we'll play the game regardless. So this is Simpsons Arcade. Fair warning, this is actually not a version most of you will have seen in your arcades growing up. It will look the same, but I'm actually running the 2-player Japanese version of this game for a few reasons. For one thing, we get a lot more options in this game. For example, there you saw that nuke that we had at the start of the stage. You don't see that in every version of the game. It's very useful. Clears out anywhere between 3 and 4 enemies at a time. Primary attack you're going to be seeing is the skateboard swing, which I'm doing here. Kill that guy. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. Another thing you won't see in every version of the game, in the tree in the very first part of the stage, we get this broom. This broom is very useful. We're going to evidence on this boss fight. That was unlucky. That was also unlucky. Okay, so we're going to do 1. Oh my gosh, the luck. 2, 3. Oh my gosh. This dude knows we're showing for an audience today. Okay, Professor goes down. Do apologize for the bad luck. There's always a random chance he'll jump out of hit stun like that. You don't want it to happen because it wastes time, but not much we can do about it either. Either way, the broom kills him faster than anything else you can possibly use. As evidence, it only takes 11 hits. For first bonus stage, we're going to mash ahoy. If you're good at a speed trick called hovering, you can do that a lot faster. My former co-op partner used to be really good at it. It's really big for Link to the Past speedruns, but you won't see it in too many other games. See it here, though. Anyway, moving on to stage 2. Now I can start talking a bit more about the bread and butter of this game. Come here. Wow, the evasion. Okay, so, one thing a lot of people don't know is that every character in this game plays primarily the same. There may be like a less than 1% leniency in regards to like the actual tools that they have. Take that. Now it's hammer time. Hammer we actually are used to seeing. But in this game, when you use the hammer or the F4 used broom, you actually get a new moveset. You get this really cool dive that you don't see in like the US version of the game. In that version of the game, all you have is like a hopping hammer that is really kind of bad. Like, it does the same damage, but you don't get to be as aggressive or as fast with it. Didn't mean to miss that guy. Hitboxes are kind of wonky with the dive. It's really efficient when it works, and you always want to do it, but sometimes it'll just miss just because an enemy decided to do a sidestep. We get a double kill here. There we go. Every character I'd be playing would be doing the exact same thing here. You also can't use a dive on an enemy who's off screen, which is why I chose to go after the bigger guy there on the ground. I'm just gonna move forward here, past this Joker, so I can spawn the boss. We do it for speed. Okay, onto the Krusty Balloon. As I'm hopefully about to show you, Hammer is gonna make this fight completely trivial. And 8 hits later, it's gone. There is a random chance that after a 3-hit cycle, he can go into the background and start dropping bombs on you. It does waste time, but again, it's random. Thankfully, we didn't get it. I guess that was penance for what happened in the first boss. Okay, on to stage 3. Honestly, the first stage in the game that's probably actually presents a challenge. You don't really have a lot of room to move around in this stage, so as you see an enemy, you kind of just have to kill them, and if you don't kill them quickly, they can start to swarm you. Or sometimes you just miss a double kill. Actually, you do have to take care of this guy, so I'll go ahead and do that. You don't have to kill every ghost you see, but the ones that get in the way and that will actually spawn themselves, you do have to get rid of. Yeah, that's also unfortunate. These guys basically get assist calls. All right, so I have to play this a little bit safer. God, the defense is real this day. Take that guy. Kill him. Hit him as he's jumping out of the tree. Take, okay. I guess I was early. Take the slingshot. Slingshot's honestly overpowered. In this version of the game, it kills any enemy in one hit. Normally it takes 3 hits to kill these zombies by comparison. Do that. Go up here. Camp that real quick. That's actually a speed strat that was discovered by a runner named Zurst. Throwing the slingshot to kill those two saves about a second or two. Took the cheeseburger for safety. And on to the mandated beat 'em up elevator. This elevator is actually pretty simple. You can just time scam it. As long as you don't kill enemies, you will get more enemies to appear. So unless you're playing for score, it's really not necessary to be able to just go after these guys. I'm just going to avoid them as best I can. Thankfully, characters in this game have incredible walk speed, so getting away from enemies is really easy. I didn't want to hit him, but that's okay. Be doing a lot more of this. La-di-da-di-da. Once we get to the bottom, then I'll start taking care of enemies. If I can kill them before any other enemies would spawn, that'll optimize the time save, but it's kind of tough to do because it really depends on their behavior most of the time. Yeah, I didn't quite get it that time. That's fine, though. I'm actually going to take one food item here. For this boss, I actually want to try and do a quick visual cue for a quick kill setup. Took a moment or two to get that there. This quick kill is kind of tough, and I want to see if I can nail it. So let's go. Oh, good thing I practiced this morning. If the key there is making sure the third swing that you make connects on the big guy as he's coming in, because if you're a little bit early or a little bit late, he gets to hit you, and it's not optimal. You get out of place, you lose time, like it's all bad basically. So that worked out. On to stage 4. Here we're at the world famous Moe's Tavern, which has never looked this swanky. Start of the stage, we actually get a hammer, and that was actually discovered, forget when it was exactly. It was a few years back, actually, by me from a YouTube video. I'm going to take care of this guy. Hammer and broom are pretty much interchangeable as far as like how useful they are, how much damage they do. So tossing the hammer to kill 2 enemies is a pretty good time save. Come here. I love the theme in this stage too, by the way. The bass is just so good. Got some time to dance. Wanted to wait on it, but that's okay. Bust open the dartboards. Do this, do this. Take that guy. I'm gonna scroll all the way before I kill him so I get the boss spawn. We're gonna be doing a lot of that through this game. Okay, so this boss is pretty simple. As long as you can execute these short hop dives, you're gonna be good to go. And I actually found an exploit about 3 years ago when I ran it at SGDQ 2020, that if your sprite is behind him the entire time, he can't interrupt your attack, so you basically just get to unblockable him to death. Really useful stuff. Okay, on to stage 5, and this stage is actually interesting for a Bart run because there's a speed strat that's exclusive to him as a character that only happens in this stage. Show that a little bit later, though. This stage, though, admittedly is one of the harder stages in the game. We don't get any cool weapon strats like in the previous stages. At least not until the very end, but we'll get to that. Don't know how I missed the hit on the ape, but that's okay. Okay, so enemy spawning here is kind of important. I think I got it. Okay, cool. Line this up here for setup. Take the corn for safety. Get a new slingshot. That guy jumps sometimes. Doesn't cost too much time if it happens. We're just gonna be one-shotting all these jokers here. Hit this guy. Hit him. So here's the speed strat. We're gonna take the slingshot, we're gonna throw it at that bear cub, and that spawns the broom. everybody gets the broom, but for some reason, Bart's trajectory on him tossing items like that is lower than any other character in the game, including Lisa. So he's the only one that can spawn it that way. Saves about a second. Onto our bear boss. This broom is actually huge for this run. This was discovered by a former world record holder named Makina Azul. And the bear fight actually used to be one of the hardest in the game, but now that we have the broom, it's completely trivial. We just have to make sure we dodge the boulders and we always get in 2 hits and be able to take care of them.
Who the hell are you?
Every character's a speed strat character. Everybody's got their own stuff. But I appreciate the meme all the less. All the more, rather. Okay, on to stage 6. Maggie's still being kidnapped by Smithers. Okay, I'm actually gonna take this cherry bomb and try to line up a triple kill here. There we go. Drop the star. Try and get a setup here. There we go. This stage is actually unique in that every enemy that appears in this stage only appears in this stage. Take care of that. Saxophones are some of the more annoying enemies. Especially the one on the right. He likes to camp off screen. Be able to throw some letters. As these power plant workers spawn, I'm going to try and get them set up as best I can. Okay, another weapon that was discovered by Zersh. This Duke is going to take us forward to these devils, drop it, and now they only take 1 hit to kill. Used to be a really hard segment until that was discovered. Go to the mailbox, spawn this bowling ball. Speaking of bowling balls, here we have our stage 6 boss. When this guy is not in motion, he's completely invincible. Usually I just go for the hits to make sure I can maintain rhythm. Here I'm going to set it for some damage. Okay, 2 hits is good. You can sometimes be able to knock him into the next phase before he makes that next jump, but it's hard. Be really fast and hope for good RNG. Okay, on to the last phase. This guy's gonna go ham. He's gonna create extendo arm. As mentioned, he's still invincible the whole time I'm trying to hit him here. I'm just doing this for rhythm. Make sure I can maintain the hits. That'll take care of him. Cool thing is, outside of the bowling ball item, that strat works on any version of the game. Yeah. Yeah, shoutouts to Donuts. Oh, Smithers is just a consistent villain. We'll get to the real villain before too long. All right, another quick bonus stage. You'll be matching.
Hey, ready? Go!
Tend to have ASMR go through this thing because I do play on a fight stick. Here are all the buttons. Okay, I think there's a flavor fail here because even though it's channel 6, it's actually stage 7. Take care of these bozos first. I didn't love that. I didn't love that either. I was hoping to be able to catch them on my incoming, but that's fine. Okay, so for this... Okay. That was just rude. Okay, so let's see what I can talk about. Channel 6 has a lot going on, so it's hard to explain what's happening through it. Lots of enemies, as you can tell. They're trying to throw the kit and caboodle at you here, but it's actually not really one of the harder stages because you start off the stage with a weapon. In this case, the hammer, and we're going to be keeping that the entire time. Quick mini-boss, this robot. He has iframes after taking a hit. We got a quick speed strat here I'm going to try and do. Got a double kill. Okay, so that worked out. If you kill those 2 enemies right after the robot at the same time within a certain number of frames, there's an enemy who would normally appear on the top that doesn't spawn. Very good to have that happen. It saves a good amount of time. Now onto these enemies that are most definitely not foot soldiers, because this is not a Konami game. No way, no how. These guys are kind of annoying. They have a lot of attacks that have evasion, particularly that high jump. You can definitely hit them at a backflip, but it's a good dodge tactic. Wow, these guys are on it today. All right, fine. As mentioned, if they're a little bit off screen, they're invincible to dives. There we go. Sorry for that time loss. Yep. Move on, spawn our boss. Gonna be another bit of a joke of a fight because we have hammer and he doesn't. Ordinarily, this is supposed to be a 5-cycle fight, but there are some instances where it can take longer because RNG is a thing. So that's 4. Let's see if we can get 5. 5, perfect. Okay, so to explain, what he can do sometimes is on the last hit of the 5th cycle, he can sometimes choose to just jump cancel out of it, and you have to do a whole other cycle to take him out. And then even in this, if it comes to a 6th cycle, he can still jump cancel out of that hit to make a 7th cycle. But if that happens, the 7th cycle is only 1 hit, and you just get to finish him off right away. Total RNG time loss if it happens, but it didn't happen, thankfully. All right, on to our last stage. Which is just a 2-boss chamber, because this is what Konami likes to do. First, I'm gonna see if I can spawn some food. Get temporary health. Okay, so the Smithers fight has some peculiarities to it. I want to make sure I can get 5 hits before I do anything else. Got the whiff. I wanted a whiff there too, thank you. I was a little bit early there. Another whiff. Okay. Essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get him to attack me so I can come in and punish him after he attacks. And from here I should just be able to finish him off. There we go. Drops a bunch of food. This is also the only version of the game where he does this. Go for it, man. Now onto the real villain. Here we have Mr. Burns, who for some reason is 7 feet tall. I'm actually going to manipulate him down here because I want to push him all the way to the bookcase. While he does his little transition, I'm going to try and go retrieve some of this health that I missed. There we go. We might need this. Okay, so this is going to be kind of tricky. I particularly have issues with it with Bart. Something about the way Bart's hitboxes work is... it's kind of odd. So the idea is I want to push him to the bookcase, and if I time my hits correctly, this should register as an infinite, and he won't be able to get out of this. A little bit off rhythm there, but that's okay. Essentially what's going to happen is he's going to keep moving back and forth there and just shouldn't be able to get out of this. He was able to get out there, but we were able to recover. If he gets out of the bookcase, we can't maintain this, and we're going to have a hard time. Be the last phase. Be ready on time. All right, time's going to be when Maggie lands on Burns. So that's going to be... time. That was pretty cool. I'm not normally able to maintain that kind of consistency with Bart, so I'm really happy that it was able to work out. He actually has one of my personal hardest Burns fights. I think only Lisa's is harder. But without proper alignment, the Bart fight can get out of hand pretty badly. Like, there's another top runner of this game named, I mentioned before, named Zurst, who he mains Bart in this game. My main is Marge, but when his Bart fights against Burns... definitely looked like that. This is no discredit to him, but they definitely look like they could use some work, and I think that's more on the character than the player. He just has some wonky hitboxes when it comes to doing stuff like that, but sometimes it works out. Whereas with like Marge and Homer, it's really consistent. Oops, didn't mean to skip that. Thanks so much all for the GGs. I'm gonna go ahead and pop in our initials because we got first, and first is great. All right, and this weekend we're going to continue to break the habit. Again, thank you so much for everyone for watching and for donating. And we're going to go ahead and move on to some... So you got some GT Final Bout by DB Cade, who's an excellent fighting game runner out of Japan. So y'all take care and enjoy. I'll see you around.
Thank you again, LRock.
Thank you.
Thank you again, LRock. We'll be taking a short break in just a minute here, and then we'll be coming back with Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. Make sure to get those donations in. Again, there's plenty of prizes you can find on the Twitter. Looks like there is a poll as well for a character selection for the next game. So if you'd like to do that, you've got a few minutes yet. But other than that, we'll see you in a bit.